We're live. It's 9 p.m. Eastern time on a Thursday. That means it's time for This Week at Gear Report, the show where we talk about everything we published since the show last week, everything we've got in the queue. Actually, we'll tease you with some things we have in the queue that are coming up to be published. And then our ever popular shit shooting, the most important portion of the program. Although I'm going to tease you for a moment. If you look that direction, we have a special guest. We're going to get back to him. That's William. Please say hi to William. All right. I'll remind everyone, including the gun snob, of two things. Number one, this is a participatory program. We depend on you to interject your voice into this discussion, ask questions, make comments, keep them respectful, please. We do. Let's go for PG-13. Okay. With PG nice, maybe. PG-13 we can live with. That was number one. Number two, the standard greeting that we expect here at This Week at Gear Report is 3 yos in a row. You can throw in a let's go with it like the gun snob did if you like. All right. Oh, we have an update from TJ. Our co-host and the director of Snacks and Beverages has let me know that he is on the way home. He'll be on in 10 minutes. Does that mean that adult kickball has run long this evening? We don't know. We'll find out when TJ gets here. All right, the gun snob's being nice out there. Yeah, he really doesn't know what he's getting into.
No.
But that's how we get people to come on the show. If they actually knew what they were getting into, then it may decline. So we try to keep a little magic going. I'm going to raise my camera a little. And I'm zoomed out as far as I can. I just feel like I'm way up here looking down at William, and that makes me uncomfortable. That's not the way you treat a guest. So there, I changed my angle as much as I could there. Let's see. Defense Dad. Hate to tell you, buddy, you weren't first, but we appreciate you being here anyway. So number one, let's go through our agenda while we're waiting for some more people to filter in. Typically, we are here. We're going to talk about, let me get that comment off the screen. Typically, we're going to go through our standard agenda and talk about recently published reviews. But guess what? I have been tied up. I haven't published anything since the show last week. That is probably the first week in the last 6 months that I have not published something. So I apologize for that. That means that in an upcoming few days, I have a bunch of stuff in the queue to publish. So keep an eye on Gear-Report.com for all the new reviews that are coming, probably mostly in the firearms space, but we'll have some other things out there as well. Upcoming reviews, we're going to go over that portion of the program later. All right. I think we're kind of officially in the shit shooting portion, but as is recent tradition, and I fear that it's going to be a long-standing tradition here, this is what we're leaving on the screen most of the time. And here, I'm going to switch this around. So we're covering me up and not William. And I don't want you professionally associated with my boo ATF comment. That is my feeling. I'm not putting words in your mouth. You're a big boy. You can define how you feel about things. So, yeah, welcome to the program. Let's see. I want to give just a couple more minutes for people to show up. That means we have a moment to talk about our sponsor, Maxim Defense Industries. Thank you so much to Maxim Defense for being the title sponsor of This Week at Gear Report and giving us some resources to go out and do cool things that we find entertaining and fun and informative. And which reminds me, I have some Maxim Defense firearms in the review queue that they're inching closer to publication. So that is something to look forward to here in the near future. Thanks again to Maxim Defense for that. And let's see, get back to the chat window. I feel like there's an Oklahoma joke in there somewhere, but I would feel bad saying it. I met lots of nice people from Oklahoma, and I also met the gun snob who lives in Oklahoma. But it's good to see. I'm assuming that Snob is back safe after driving out to the East Coast for the Iraq Veteran 8888 event last weekend, and then some other events on the way back home. So that's good to see. Oh my, the Oklahoma bashing has started. When I was in the Air Force and stationed in Oklahoma, we were actually instructed we were never to say Oklahoma. It was Okla effing Homa. And so we're sticking with PG-13 today. So that is how I was taught to refer to it. All right. So TJ should be here shortly. And I think we're going to go ahead and move forward. And William, if you don't mind me asking you to help our audience understand a couple things. So a little bit about you personally, and as well as Washington gun law. How did it come about? What's the scope of your business? What kind of people do you help? What kind of services do you offer? And everyone here knows that I can be a little pushy with guests sometimes, and basically say, do a commercial if you want to. William has already said, I'm not into that. I want to tell people what value we provide, but I'm not looking to do a commercial. So that's fine. I appreciate that as well. But understand, we invite people on because we like what they do and we want to share it with the audience. So please share with our audience. What are you about?
Well, Jeff, first of all, thank you very much for having me here. It's a real pleasure to be here. My name is William Kirk. I'm the president of a company called Washington Gun Law. We're based in the Seattle, Washington area. Don't hold that against me. We are a law firm that practices in the area of firearms and criminal defense throughout the entire state of Washington. And so I can certainly provide a service to some of your Washington viewers. But I think the service that I can provide most to your viewers is we have a channel on YouTube, Washington Gun Law. And the entire purpose of that channel is to dedicate information to lawful and responsible gun owners, not only in the state of Washington, but more importantly, nationwide. The gun laws that we write are as complicated oftentimes as the IRS code. They're virtually impossible to understand. And what I find about the Second Amendment community is it really is an incredibly law-abiding community. If you teach the people where the lines are, most of them are in fact going to color inside those lines. What we do with Washington Gun Law is we take those very complicated, hard to understand statutes, break them down into simple, digestible pieces so that all of us can understand what our rights and obligations are as lawful and responsible gun owners and what the consequences are if we fail to meet those duties. Right. We cover a lot of issues, not only related to Washington State when our legislature's in session, but lately the ATF, of course, has been the gift that keeps on giving as far as material goes. I do want to thank all my good friends at the ATF for all of the material that they've been giving us for the last few months, and to the Biden administration as well for giving us lots of material to talk about as well. And so the focus in the last few months has really been on a lot of ongoing issues with ATF and stuff such as that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you definitely kept us busy with. It's very unfortunate. You're absolutely correct. The ATF just keeps on giving, and that's meaning that like almost every day,
right,
you are sitting there recording and editing and publishing videos.
Correct. Yeah.
So
and I think the one service that I really want is that there are a lot of lawful and responsible gun owners out there all the time, Jeff, that they go to the range all the time and they practice the skills necessary to stay out of the morgue. And that's very, very important. And I really appreciate those that are willing to defend themselves and their family. What we don't do frequently enough is practice the skills necessary to stay out of prison as well. And lawful and responsible gun ownership not only involves us being tactically proficient in the use of the firearm, but also being mentally competent in the application of the law to various situations.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that I really appreciate. And I wonder, so for example, there was and I'm in the background, I've had your YouTube channel up, and now I've got your corporate site, your law firm site up here. And I will drop the links to both of those in the chat here shortly. But there were some things going on a month or two ago where the ATF was taking multiple firearm purchase forms and using those to create a list to go to people's houses and basically try to pressure them into hey, just show us you got them and we'll leave and everything's done. And, it really drove me to the internet looking for some guidance when I realized, as a professional firearms reviewer, I fill those forms out all the time. Mm-hmm. And if they're creating a list off of that, I'm on their list over and over again. And my family really doesn't do much of anything with guns. They're not really, I mean, this is my thing. They don't really know. And it occurred to me, I'm not at the house all the time. What if they show up wanting to follow up on this list that they're creating? How do I advise my family on how to deal with that? So that drove me to the web. It drove me to YouTube, because that's where a lot of people get legal advice these days, right? And
Sure, why not?
yeah, and I use that term informally, not a formal, whatever legal advice means to an attorney, I believe, is different than what it means to your common person sometimes. So, oh, come on, gun snob. I'm going to get to that. So,
patience, snob. Patience.
It's a rough crowd here sometimes.
Dude,
but we do
nice
appreciate
you.
Nice meeting you. I'm a big fan.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
We do appreciate that that our audience is looking out for our guests to be sure that we get their information out there.
Yeah.
And
with a name like the Gun Snob, I definitely want him following us at Washington Gun Law. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah. We pick on him because, like he said, he can't read, and and I read somewhere that, man, I don't even want to say this, but I'm going to anyway, that he's so gay he can't drive straight. And there is a good story behind that, that he had that on the back of his truck when he drove from Oklahoma to the East Coast last year and didn't know it was there, and later understood why people were giving him weird looks. But with all that aside, he is a good guy, and we do appreciate him being here. And he makes a nice whipping boy during the show, so we appreciate that as well. And he gave you a sub. Look at that. Which hopefully everyone does. So how do you feel about when you hear about people finding your content and getting something actionable and useful out of it? I mean, what's that do for you?
It's the most satisfying thing of Washington Gun Law. And just as a backstory, I started off when I got out of law school. I was a prosecuting attorney here in King County, Washington, where Seattle resides. I got to work for an elected prosecutor who was fantastic gentleman. Got into private practice, kind of did a lot of generalized criminal defense, specialized for a number of years in impaired driving cases, and then really started focusing on firearms cases a number of years ago. Truthfully, my passion is really to be a teacher. I enjoy teaching a tremendous amount, but you can't, with all due respect, you can't make a lawyer's salary being a teacher. But what I found with Washington Gun Law is that it allows me the opportunity to go out and educate people all around the state of Washington, all around the country, through the YouTube channel and stuff like that. And I really do enjoy having that interaction with other lawful and responsible gun owners, learning things from them, me being able to teach things to them. And really, I do think that the whole Second Amendment debate in this country changes significantly once we start really educating ourselves and all those that are less educated. I think that we talk all the time about litigation and intimidation and all these other things that go into the Second Amendment debate. But really, the biggest tool for those in the 2A community is education. And we have to continuously try to educate those who don't understand what they're talking about, because when you listen to what most of those in the gun control agenda say, they candidly just don't have a fathom as to what they're discussing.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. So how long, I say wow as I'm scrolling through
so
more
many videos.
and more and
yeah.
more.
So here's the thing with the video. I know you guys live in states where people can live a little bit freer like an American, but during the pandemic out here in the People's Republic of Washington, we basically shut the whole state down. Okay. We shut the whole state down. We had no bars, no restaurants, no concert venues, no sporting events. We didn't have anything going on in this state for essentially 2 years. My kids didn't go to school in person for nearly a year and a half. It was horrific. Well, that's not real good for your legal practice. There's not a lot going on at that time. And so suddenly I have all this other spare time on my hands, and I'm a workaholic. If I'm not busy, then there's something wrong. And so I really decided, I'd been thinking about doing the YouTube channel for Washington Gun Law I decided I had the time. I started putting the energy into it. I really started enjoying it. And then our legislative session rolled around earlier this year, which turned out to just be a bloodbath for the gun owning community here in Washington State. And so it gave me a lot of material to work with. And I think my viewership really took off at that point. And then we've been able to get into some national issues. And so the channel has grown really nicely. And I enjoy that because, again, it's really just about meeting lawful and responsible gun owners around the country and just sharing ideas and educating each other.
And you're absolutely doing that. I mean, that goal is being reached. I hope that it's helping with your business within Washington State as well, because there's so much value in the information that you're sharing. I hope you're getting some value back.
Yeah, there is. And there's a fine line. And I think I probably have a harder time walking it than a lot of lawyers because, and Jeff, you and I had a private conversation about this. I have a disdain for lawyers that act like car salesmen. And when I see them doing, and so how can I educate? And yes, I am in a for-profit business. I'm not going to lie about that. How can I educate and promote the business without acting like a schlock? And that's the fine line that I'm constantly having to balance. And so if I end up, acting schlocky during my time with you guys today, just go ahead and stop me because I don't want to be that guy. Okay.
Well, but with that said, I'm still gonna push you on that a little bit because I want to better understand. You give so much to the 2A community, and I ask you to come on the show because of all the people that I watch. You're the one that when I see a new video come up, I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch that one. There are some others that like, if I have time, let me go see what William says about it. Then if I have time, I'll watch theirs and see. Right. If they had any interesting points that were different or whatever. But you provide so much value to the community that I want to be sure that we cover. And I'm sure you get this question a lot, like for people within Washington State, I suspect you can do a whole lot of things. For people outside, like me in North Carolina, what are the scope of things that like if I had an issue, I could come to you and hire you to do something?
Yeah, So in a lot of instances, people who have issues, the issues may be with ATF, it may be the application of federal law. And so if you're looking for legal advice, an attorney who's well-versed in the federal regulations and ATF regulations and things like that can assist a client in any state. As we know, there's this ongoing operation by ATF now called reticent recall, which is meant to go out, as I call it, a scavenger hunt for triggers and traps. And I have been I've had the pleasure of working with dozens and dozens of people all around the country and helping them resolve these issues with the ATF because I'm serving as a communication liaison between them and that agency. So there are a lot of services that I can provide. And then listen, if you call me and it turns out you're in a lot of hot water and we need to get you a local attorney, the good news is I'm pretty well connected in the 2A community and I can probably get you connected with somebody in your backyard that can help you.
Right.
Nice.
So that's good. I think that will be helpful for people. And I know that I suspect that you put a lot of thought into how you named your firm and your YouTube channel so that people know that you have a geography where you can do more.
Right, exactly.
But that may also, I wanted to be sure that I suspect there are people who are like, well, I'm not in Washington. I'm sure he can't help me. So now you know.
Well, yeah, no,
I can help you with.
Willing to help anybody. I mean, most of my actual legal lawyering help is going to occur in the state of Washington. But what can I do as far as helping people educate or understand the regulations or giving them generalized legal advice? Because one of the things we talk about a lot at Washington Gun Law is oftentimes there's a big difference between what you have the right to do and doing the right thing. And I don't think that matters what state you're in. I think that doing the right thing is always the same no matter what state you're in. So there's a lot of things that I can help people, even if it's just giving them food for thought. And sometimes that's the only thing that a counsel can do is just give you a couple of other perspectives so you can think this thing through from a different way before you make some decisions.
Good. And I think that's very helpful. Is if someone wants to get a hold of you, is this contact phone number that you have on the website?
You can reach out to us at WashingtonGunLaw.com, or you can call us right there directly at the office, 425-765-0487. We're also available on Facebook at Washington Gun Law, and then of course on YouTube at Washington Gun Law.
Yep. And it looks like you got a contact form. If someone needs to type something to you, they can do it.
I get messages every day. People inquire with questions. Sometimes I can respond back right away. Sometimes the questions are pretty loaded, and I'm a little too lazy to sit behind the keyboard that much. So you might get a short one like, "Hey, give me a call. Let's talk about this one." And that's just because trying to save the carpal tunnel.
Yeah, yeah. So what have we missed so far? We've kind of done a quick perusal, scrolled through the website. We've got the the website and the YouTube page. Is there anything else that we should share with folks, or anything that you'd like to dig in any of those?
Let me, because I know you got a lot of lawful and responsible gun owners out there as your loyal viewers. And I wanted to go over 3 issues kind of just real quick today, kind of give you my input on some stuff, because these are questions. I picked these issues because I went through all of the comments that I had in my various videos, and what were the questions that were most commonly popping up. And so I figured, hey, these are going to be the kinds of things that your viewers may want to know. So the first thing I want to talk about is the pistol stabilizing brace rule. Now that's got everybody freaked out, and I got all these people talking about, the hell with it. I just want to go ahead and register it now and do all of the amnesty registration, everything like that. So there's a few things I want all of your viewers to be aware of. Number 1, I want everyone to take a big deep breath. Okay, I want everyone to take a big deep breath, because we don't know how much crap we're in yet. And we won't know until December. And then we may have cause to panic, but let's just wait until we get there. The rule, as you guys know, was pulled back and will be republished in December, which means it will not be effective until April of 23. Now, an example that I like to give is that when we took a look at the ATF's new rules on frames and receivers, and we looked at the earlier versions of it, it was terrible. Okay, we all freaked out. Oh my God, I'm going to have to serialize everything now, right? My bolt carrier is going to have to be serialized, all of that, right? Because that's the way it read. But then the rule got reworked, and when we got the final rule, we were like, oh, it's not as terrible as it started. It's not the greatest piece of rulemaking ever, but it's not as terrible. I think the issue with the unfinished frames and receivers is going to have to be resolved in court. But what we have to serialize as a frame and receiver was the stuff that we always kind of recognized as a frame and receiver. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is I don't like the terminology amnesty registration. Right. Amnesty, if you just look up the terminology, contemplates that you've committed a crime and you're getting forgiveness from the government. Okay, nobody who purchased an AR pistol committed a crime. Nobody committed a crime. Okay, these are absolutely lawfully purchased firearms. They're lawfully possessed firearms. And just because the ATF now chooses midstream to change their definition does not make individuals unlawful. So I don't like the terminology amnesty. It has the wrong connotations. The third thing I want everyone to be aware of, and we have a video on this, and I really encourage some people to watch this, which is called "Is Amnesty Registration About to Be the Biggest Trap That's Ever Been Set?" And what I bring up on that is that when we look at what the ATF asked for as far as more money to redo their Form 1s, what they said is we need to redo the Form 1s because everyone's going to have to submit photographs so that we can, 1, determine that the firearm uses a stabilizing brace, and 2, it qualifies for amnesty registration. And it's that second part where we know about the 49.99 and the 4-point scale system and how easily it is to accumulate those points. My concern is that a lot of people are going to be like, oh, this is a tax-free registration. Cool. I'll just send it in. I'll be done with it. Then the ATF comes back and says, well, we've made 2 determinations. 1, yes, your firearm does utilize a stabilizing brace, but it doesn't qualify for amnesty registration. You've scored it to be an SBR. And now that you've told us about the gun and given us pictures of it, you have 2 options, which is pay up or forfeit the weapon.
Yeah.
Okay. And so is that the trap? Now, a lot of people would say that's a crazy conspiracy theory, but the problem is that the ATF time and time again has shown us that they will engage in this trickery, in essence, to crack down on otherwise lawful and responsible gun owners. So I really think that everyone needs to chill out on the stabilizing braces for now. I get calls every day. I'm thinking about doing this with my gun, and it's like, don't do anything with it. Take it in the exact configuration it's in right now and enjoy it while you can. We might have to change some configurations on the firearm later, but let's wait and see. I will be starting a video. I just met with them yesterday. We'll be doing a series of videos. They'll start publishing later this month. It's called Ask an FFL, and it's going to be a video series with an FFL where we will run through $49.99 each component of it and try to better help you guys understand what the hell this all really means to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, that is definitely a topic that has. I'd like to think I don't panic that much, but the way folks were talking about that a few weeks ago, I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is going to create a complete shitstorm." And
Absolutely would. Because just think of all of a sudden 20 million new Form 1s have to go in through the e-filing system that's already delayed and bogging down all the time already.
Yeah. I ordered a couple more buffer tubes with the padding on them.
Yeah. Well, now, and here's the other thing. And I was talking to the FFL about
that
it.
Way, I'm done.
No brace. It doesn't count, right?
So, and TJ, have you ever done an NFA item before?
Yeah.
Okay. So, if you're Form 1ing an NFA item, like if you and I are going to build an SBR, we can buy all the components, but we can't put them together until the ATF has given us our blessings. Their blessings, right? But they want us to send in photographs of a completely assembled NFA item for an amnesty registration.
I know. It's crazy.
See, and
here's a picture. Here's a picture of proof that I've already assembled it. Here you go.
Here's photographic evidence of my felonious conduct.
So bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the stuff I wanted your viewers to be aware of on the pistol braces. And if you're willing to have me back as we get closer and closer to D-Day when that rule drops, we might be able to have a more intelligent conversation about that.
Definitely. And on that topic, I shared the link to is Pistol Brace Amnesty about to become the biggest registration. That link is in the comments. If anyone has not seen that video, open it another window, hit pause, watch it when this show's over. All right.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
The second issue I wanted to make your viewers aware of is some of you may be aware of Operation Reticent Recall. This is where the ATF reversed direction on forced reset triggers, wide open triggers, and then also cracked down on solvent traps, which were being sold as solvent traps, but we all kind of know the gamesmanship that was being played in there. Now, added to that list late last week was the Hellfire trigger system as well. So if we are in possession of a wide open trigger, a forced reset trigger, or any of the Hellfire Gen 2 or Gen 2 AR triggers, will draw the ire of the ATF. What I am seeing, having talked to hundreds of people out there, is if you purchased any of these items from Big Daddy Unlimited, there's a high likelihood that you have not received any type of correspondence from the ATF, and I'm not even certain if they're ever going to be able to connect those dots. Okay, if you ordered the items directly from Rare Breed, the Force Reset trigger, there is a 1 in 10 chance that you've received a letter from ATF.
Wow.
Okay. However, if you purchased on Gunbroker, you have already received your letter. Okay. All right. You have already received your letter, whether it was a trigger or a trap, they're on to you. Okay. And there's been a couple of accounts that they've really, really peeled a lot of information on. I will tell folks right now, a lot of people call me and they're freaking out. Oh my God, are they going to show up with an arrest warrant? Are they going to take me to prison? All that stuff. If you're the single end user, like what I've been dealing with, the person who bought one trigger, one trap, something like that, if you have evidence of its destruction or you're willing to turn it back over, that is probably the end of the contact. I have not had a single individual where we arranged for the surrender of an item where it turned into some sort of a trap with an arrest warrant, a search warrant. The agents are being really cool to us about as far as setting the ground rules, what we're willing to talk about, what we're not willing to talk about. I've had multiple agents into my office the last couple of weeks. They love coming in here to pick up the triggers because they're walking into a safe environment. Right? Nothing's going to happen versus showing up at some guy's doorstep telling them you're a federal agent and you're there to get their property. You know, things can turn ugly there. So if any of your viewers are still in possession of these items, and even if you have not been contacted by ATF, there are a lot of things you can do to get out in front of that stuff. You can contact us at the office to talk about that. I do have some videos on that. They're not too hard to find about what I recommend you do if you have not been contacted by ATF. If you've already received a letter from ATF, I really recommend you leave the item in exact condition it was at the time you received the ATF letter. I don't want to be doing any destroying of items that ATF has put us on notice that might have evidentiary value. Okay, so that's it. But if you have a trigger and ATF hasn't contacted you, it's your property. You can go cut it up, just like you can take your TV off the wall right now and cut it up if you want it. Your property. Okay.
Right.
So, yeah. Do you have a question about that?
I want to call you out for something on the whole force reset trigger, and this is something that, and I don't want to make you nervous talking about Rifle Remedy 2000, but this is something that made me take notice and go, wait a second, this guy's got integrity.
Oh, okay. I know.
Yeah. It is not uncommon for people to say something, to make a mistake and do something publicly. And in this case, I don't know if called out's the right word, but you kind of singled out a specific seller on Gunbroker.
Yeah, I was wrong.
And said, I suspect this is what's happening. And then when you found out that wasn't what was happening, you were pretty aggressive about getting the word out. Yep. Hey, leave that person alone. Yeah. I made a mistake. And I was like, you know what? I like this guy.
That's good. That's good. Because the gun community is relentless. They hear something like that. And next thing you know, you're like,
they are.
Like, oh my gosh.
And so what the whole story is I started getting all of these letters from ATF. Everyone's, and it's always this Rifle Remedy 2000. I'm like, what are the chances that one guy is selling, right? So I talked to a couple other people out in what I call the YouTuberverse, and they we all kind of came to this conclusion that this is probably an ATF account. We know the ATF has accounts on Gunbroker. They need it to monitor the act. I have an account on Gunbroker for that reason too, you know? So I did a video and I said, hey, there's no way this isn't an ATF account. I mean, come on, this is what's going on. And I actually was setting up a second video where I was going to educate on entrapment then, what really is entrapment. But I mentioned in the video, hey, if I'm wrong and the real Rifle Remedy wants to come forward and call me, I'll publish a redaction. Well, within 2 hours of publishing the video, I got some completely spooked 20-year-old kid going to a major state university who tells me the story about how he's been raided by ATF and everything. And so I shot a video later that same day, published it the next day, and said, hey, I stand corrected. This is a kid. And he was telling me about, he was getting blown up and a lot of people getting really aggressive. And I felt the need to, like, when I understood what the kid was doing, which is, he grew up in this gun family. He knew gun components really, really well. He's at a major state university, a very prestigious state university, and he's helping pay tuition by making some extra money on Gunbroker. That's all the kid was doing. And when those triggers came along, he could buy low and sell high. He's a smart kid. He recognized the profit margin. So that's all the kid was doing. And I just don't think he deserves to be treated by the 2A community for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the gun snob, I like the way he words this. He likes his dogs. But if a person had a YouTube video shooting one of those triggers at a range day, meaning a media event, which, there are a number of us who go to those, and brands will bring out their cool new stuff. And it's not unusual for any brand to have some sort of full auto or, a force reset or whatever the latest thing is, because all the YouTube people, all of us content creators want to get a video with that. So if we've done any of that, with things that have now become, I'm going to call it targets of the ATF. Reclassification exposure in having video of us using that device.
I have a video. I did it about a year ago, and it's called "The Dangerous Intersection Between Social Media and Our Second Amendment Rights." And I am a huge proponent of personal freedoms. I am a huge proponent of personal expressions. I just think that's what makes us Americans. However, I also realize that there is a political movement afront in this country, and many of which have now settled into prosecutors' offices where they become very, very anti-Second Amendment. And there's a political movement in this country that does not want people like us to be able to defend ourselves. They want us to be reliant upon government for everything. Now, this is at the same time when local governments are decrying for the defunding of their police departments and state governments are looking to disarm its citizens. And this is the world we live in. So all of these things combined, I think, make for issues that we all need to be really cognizant of and start pushing back in some way.
I'm digesting that. And I think you said a lot, but maybe didn't give a direct, or maybe I just missed it.
We need to push back.
When it comes to social media, here's the thing. And we'll use Gun Snob. Okay. If the Gun Snob's got a bunch of videos on his Facebook page and his Twitter account of him at the range, running all sorts of lead down range and everything like that, and then the Gun Snob gets involved in a lawful self-defense situation, those that want to prosecute him are really, really going to try to paint him as a trigger-happy hothead who was looking for a fight, right?
Yeah.
And anything that we put out there in the world that can play into that issue can be used against us. Okay. So my whole thing, I don't personally post videos of me at the range. I don't put things on Facebook of me at the range. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but if I were to be involved, if any of us get involved in a lawful self-defense shooting situation, I can assure you that the prosecution is going to go through your entire life with a fine-tooth comb. And anything that they can use to say he has a propensity for violence, he was looking forward this, he's a trigger happy posse comitatus or whatever they want to label us as, can be used against us. That's why I'm also very leery about modifications to firearms. Okay. I understand putting like a new trigger on it if the trigger you had was something like that. I understand maybe putting slightly better optics. When we start putting the Punisher skins on our firearms and things like that, that does not play well in front of a jury. It doesn't. Right. Nor do videos of us popping off a bunch of rounds at the range. Okay. I know in our little social circle, that's no big deal. And that's fine because we are educated about guns and we don't have issues with that. But that's not the 12 people that are going to be sitting in the box, you know, if your freedom's riding on it. And remember, these are 12 people who weren't smart enough to get out of jury duty.
Yeah, understood.
Yep, I'll give you that.
Okay. Yeah. And I am just so you know why I'm looking off camera, I've got the other monitor. I'm scrolling trying to find that video.
I have no power. I have no power in this screen here. I'm just sitting here.
You just
I'm the looks. That's what I'm here for.
You're just there for your good looks.
Yeah, that's what he keeps you around for.
Job, TJ. You're doing a fine job.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
I would apologize for not introducing you when you came on, but I'm going to spin it as TJ. Everyone knows you. Like, I introduced myself just in case people don't know, but I'm like, no joke. William, do you go to SHOT Show? Do you go to any events like that?
I have been to a few of them, yeah. And you'll start seeing me more and more as the channel grows. So,
oh my goodness. So we're going to have to wander the floor together.
My favorite story.
You know, it's going to kill my ego to do this, but I'm willing to do it as an experiment.
You got to say
I know what's going to happen. And already TJ and I will walk around the floor. No one says a damn thing to me. Yeah, I've been doing this for 13 years. TJ for what, 6 maybe? So it's still a long time. We're walking around and I hear TJ and people are waving and they're 200 yards down at a booth waving. And then we go 2 more aisles and someone does it from the other side. And I know if I go walk with you guys, it's going to be twice as bad. You know? Yep.
Hey, Jeff, there was one other thing I kind of wanted to kind of inform your viewers on. It's kind of a spinoff on this Operation Reticent Recall, because one of the questions I get is, hey, when is the court going to step in on ATF and get them to knock this crap off as it relates to these forced reset triggers, these wide open triggers? Okay. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen. And this is why. Going back and taking a look at the bump stock ban, which actually took place under President Trump. Okay. There were multiple lawsuits that were filed, one of which really prominent lawsuit out of the 6th Circuit was the Gun Owners of America v. Garland. They did not prevail. They prevailed 1 out of 3 times in the Sixth Circuit. And so the case was sitting on review, or to be reviewed, what's called a writ of certiorari before the United States Supreme Court. Is you're waiting to see if you're going to get on the guest list. Okay. Mm-hmm. Same with what New York Pistol and Rifle Association v. Bruin had to do a couple of years ago. The Supreme Court has denied review on that case. Okay. Which means the bump stock ban for now remains in effect. Now, why do I think that's important? Well, I think that we have a Supreme Court right now that's probably about as Second Amendment friendly as any court we've had in modern era. And I do think that if they do see decent issues, they have shown at least now a willingness to accept those issues. I think that they're looking at this bump technology, which was originated in the bump stock and really kind of just put into these triggers. And eventually we got bump triggers now. And they're looking at the definition in 26 United States Code 5845. And I think the court is not going to touch this issue. And so I do think that the bump stock ban and the ATF's determination as to the lawfulness of the wide open and the forced reset trigger is something that we're going to be dealing with for the foreseeable future. I do. I also want everyone to know that the binary trigger was specifically excluded from ATF's consideration in the original letter that they sent to the FFLs in March of this year. So binary triggers in the eyes of the ATF are probably still okay. In Washington State out here, we got a rate of fire also in our definition of automatic weapons. So all of those goofy triggers don't really jive well under Washington law, but most states don't have that in their definition.
They nuked the binary triggers with the bump stock down here in Florida. So
yeah, and Florida actually has some pretty tight laws on some of the triggers and things like that for a state that is considered to be pretty pro 2A.
I keep hoping DeSantis is going to just step up his game. So we'll see.
Well, maybe DeSantis has higher aspirations for another office.
Yeah.
Hope so. I really want to keep him here, though. He's doing a fantastic job down here.
He is. It's a really well-run state. And and I have governor envy because I'm up here in Washington and my governor is a tool. And all he is a Gavin Newsom wannabe. I mean, seriously, he literally just whatever Gavin Newsom does, Jay Inslee's going to do in about a month.
Does he have the same hair?
Well, nobody has Gavin Newsom.
Oh, yes. Close. So is he trying at least?
You elect a Ken doll to be your governor. Yeah. Right?
Oh, my goodness. Yep.
Well, anyway, so those were the three things.
Yeah, that was the depressing part of the conversation because I've got a bad governor as well. So it's like, But you were moving on to something less depressing, I think.
Well, no, I ended on the most depressing note, which is I think that do I expect the Supreme Court to be stepping in on this forced reset trigger, wide open trigger fiasco? No, I don't.
No,
I don't. So those were the issues I kind of wanted to make your viewers aware of. And obviously, if they got any other questions, they can always contact us at Washington Gun Law or on the channel or anything like that. So if any of your questions, if your viewers have any questions, I'm certainly, if you guys got time, I can stick around and answer them. But
yeah, let's make a last call for any questions for William because we are tying him up and keeping him from getting home to his family this evening. So, he's been very gracious.
They're probably quite grateful of that, so don't worry about that.
Yeah. I laugh because that's how my family feels. TJ, on the other hand, his family loves him and wants him to be there all the time. But I'm not so lucky. The numbers on the screen here. If here's a question: if someone finds themselves in a bad situation, say that it is what they believe is a justified self-defense shooting. If they're in Washington State, I suspect that your 24-hour emergency number might be appropriate for them. If someone is not in your state, would you still be an appropriate first contact and then you could help direct them, or is there a better thing for them to do?
I think that the one thing that every lawful and responsible everyday carrier should take a look at is concealed carry insurance. And I think that what you should look at is the service that can actually provide you with a 24/7 hotline so that if, God forbid, you are involved in a self-defense situation, whether it involves a fist or a firearm, They're all self-defense situations, and and anyone can be investigated and charged for a crime, even though they used lawful force in defense of themselves. So any, concealed carry self-defense insurance that guarantees you 24-hour access to an attorney is something that everyone should look at. I know US Law Shield, based out of Texas, does that. USCCA is available in some states. And so that's something that all your viewers should just really, really look into, because it's either that or you're going to be paying thousands of dollars to have an attorney on a retainer. Okay.
Right.
And even if you got an attorney on retainer, it doesn't mean they're going to answer the phone at 3 a.m. And that's the problem with these darn shootings, is most of them don't occur at 2 p.m. Okay.
Right.
They do occur at 1 a.m. And candidly, the area that I think most people are likely to come into armed confrontation is actually out on the roadway. I think the chance of you having armed confrontation on the highway is way greater than someone breaking into your home. And the ability, again, to have somebody on speed dial from the side of the road, because what happens in the first 12 to 24 hours after a shooting, the amount of evidence that's gathered, what's preserved, what is it, that can make or break a person's defense. If you're trying to go back 6 months after a shooting and recreate the scene and try to figure out what your theory is, then you are in serious trouble. So you do need somebody on board right away.
That sounds like pretty solid advice. So thank you so much. I'd like to say a general thanks for coming on the program, for sharing the information with our audience. Thanks to the audience for some interesting comments and a couple questions there to keep the discussion going. I think that it's fair to say that anytime you have something that you'd like to share with our audience, let us know, and you're welcome to come back and share that. However you'd like to do that.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys. And to all your viewers, like I say, I know you all do the training necessary to stay out of the morgue. Just do all the training necessary to stay out of prison also. It's equally as important. And I'm not the only person that can provide that training. There's other very capable lawyers all around the country that can provide those services for you as well. All
right. Excellent. Yeah. Thanks again. We really appreciate
you. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't introduce you when you showed up, but
everybody
everyone knows DJ.
Yeah, it's TJ.
Yeah, we're gonna dive in.
You know how it goes.
So we're in shit shooting, but I got to put the right banner back up here.
Yep.
So
that's
thanks everyone. Thanks everyone for the comments. Gun Snob for his scenario that he threw out to talk about. If you came in late and you missed some of the discussion with William Kirk from Washington Gun Law, then you're going to have to go back and rewatch it, because it was a good one. He really talked about some very helpful things, and hopefully we'll have him back at some point.
They're very informative.
Out videos.
I know.
Yeah, next time I got to ask him who does his thumbnails, if he does or someone else, because he's got really good thumbnails on his videos. They're intriguing. They make you want to click it. What?
Our thumbnails suck.
Ouch. Man, that hurt my feeling. Yeah. Okay, so we didn't have to get back to our regularly scheduled discussion.
Oh, there we go.
This always happens. We had I was worried about having William too early in the program, because the viewership always picks up towards the end. And of course, right after he left, I've seen a couple more people have shown up in the different the count of how many viewers we have. So definitely, folks, if you missed William at Washington Gun Law, go back. And I'm going to ask that you go to the Gear Report Firearms channel on YouTube and watch the show there, because we're trying to build watch time to get that channel monetized and get, a little bit of traffic so it will rank a little better, because we got some good videos that are in the queue that are going to go up on that channel here in the coming months. So because we are diversifying our content. Actually, is that what we're doing? We're diversifying where we post the content. It was all everything on one channel with Gear Report's YouTube channel.
If something gets nuked, we still have life.
Well, yeah, That's pretty much it. Yeah, because I know it's a matter of time before the channel gets nuked because we got too much gun content up there, and there are people who just don't like that.
I know, bastards.
Yeah, so we talked about
guys in the chat. We love you guys.
Most of them. Yeah, as far as they know. So we had nothing published. We had nothing published since the show last week. So if anyone missed the beginning of the show, recently published reviews, ain't got any. There's probably some in the queue waiting to be published, but I've had some personal stuff that has tied me up and kept me busy. Like right before the show, guess what I was doing right before the show? Like 15 minutes before the show.
You laser engraving something?
Installing a microwave oven.
Oh, that's important. You gotta have a microwave.
The alert
above the oven or in wall?
Above the range.
That's a suck by yourself.
The attentive people in our audience may recall that 1 year ago, almost to the day, I came on the show and said, yep, I was installing a microwave oven because it lasted like 11 months. So, and that sucked. And I said, I'm not going to do
what brand was it?
Again. But that one was an Insignia Insight, something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
Something I got at Best Buy, and I got a Frigidaire this time. I got to tell you what, if any of you live, check around you. If there is a liquidation store, we've got one. I'm telling you, the air conditioner that runs in my office, the microwave, our dishwasher, all the appliance stuff like that. I don't even go to Best Buy or Lowe's or Home Depot or any of the places I would normally go to get stuff. I go to this liquidation place and they get truckloads of stuff. Their returns are damaged or just didn't sell. Mostly like damaged packaging. From this place gets a lot of Home Depot and Amazon. So this week I went and I got a microwave, it's basically half price. It would have been a $430 microwave. They sold it to me for $215. And the package had got a dent in the top, and it made a little dent in the top of the microwave, but it's in the area that's covered up.
Right.
And it comes with a 30-day warranty. So if anything was damaged inside, we should know that within 30 days. Like immediately, we should have known. We plug it in, it wouldn't work.
Sparks, yay.
Yeah, everything worked fine when I plugged it in. So I went ahead and installed it and paid half price for it. So I was happy about that.
We have Appliance Direct down here that has the scratch and dent kind of place.
Yeah. That's correct, Defense Dad.
I'm saying direct. I mean, dishwasher. Just give Jen a new sponge. It's fine.
Yeah. Yep. That'd go over well. Yeah. So, so while I was there, they have 4 different places that this company has. They bought, it was called the BMOC, the Burlington something outlet center. I don't remember what the M was. Anyhow, it was an outlet mall, Burlington Mall Outlet Center. I don't remember. This outlet mall is defunct. It went out of business, and a bunch of little low rent shops have moved in, and so they've got 4 different units in this old outlet mall, and one of them is generals. 2 of them are just general stuff, and one of them is grocery type stuff, and the other is appliances. So we went to the appliance and we got the microwave, and then we went to the grocery one and got a bunch of little food item things. And then we went to one of the general store types, and we're walking around, we're about to leave, and I'm like, whoa, something caught my eye. What was that? And I look, I don't have it up here. It was a tall box. You know what it was. It was a tall box, and I'm like, there's a paper taped to it with a picture of a guitar and the name on it. I actually know the guy that owns the company. His name's Tom, and he's Chinese. His name's not really Tom, but that's what he tells everyone. And he worked for a company called EART, EART. They make really some really cool guitars that are like this is. I think they're selling these for about $360 now, and it from another brand would be a $1,500 guitar. It's insane. I've got 3 EART guitars, and I love every one of them. And he started a new company called Latitude, and they're selling for about $350 or so. And I got their version of the little headless guitar for like $200, and it's brand new in a case and everything.
Ooh, and it's blue,
nice, and it's pretty, and it looks like a rock machine, and it's a cool, headless. So it looks all fancy and everything. So all I went for was a microwave, and I was pissed I had to get a microwave, right? And then we got a good deal on, like, I got some bulk coffee for 10 cents a packet, and the packet.
That's great for you.
Jen will use the packet like probably 3 times. It's made for a big pot of coffee, and she does a little single cup thing. So she'll probably get 3 days out of that little pack for 10 cents. So I'm like, oh,
that's
and it's painful. She's happy. G23 is going to get a new sandwich maker. I don't know. That sounds like a tall order. Well, I mean, I
I'd have to pay a lot of money to get rid of Crystal and get a new sandwich maker.
I don't even want to suggest that you would kidnap someone as a means of getting a new sandwich maker, but I don't know. Maybe you'd have better luck than that. Another target for
how good the sandwich is.
Why did I even click that?
Why did you do that?
Yeah, I will click this one, though, because I like when people self-incriminate on this show. I think that if that goes viral,
it's on the YouTubes now. There it is.
It is. Yep, and we've already learned today. We've got a legit.
Apparently not, because he had to go buy one.
Unpaid legal advice that. Hey, wait, they didn't have a microwave on Vine. They didn't, dude. I looked.
He looked. I mean, that's what I'm saying. He looked.
Gunsnob. I haven't seen Gunsnob in a while. Maybe he's not here, but
probably not after you pissed him off.
One of my kids. I know. I was kind of brutal with Gunsnob tonight.
It was. That hurt me.
But what was I going to say? Oh, the microwave on Vine. One of my kids came in and said, "Hey, did you see Vine has a search blank now?" So the Amazon Vine reviewer program had probably among the different categories, probably generally 50 to 80,000 products. And they had them in 2 levels deep of categories, which isn't that deep. Some of these categories go 10 levels deep. So super hard to find any specific items. And we've complained for a couple years, like, why don't they have a search blank? They added the search blank. I looked in the morning, it wasn't there. My daughter tells me about noon, hey, did you see there's a search blank? 15 minutes later, I get a text from Snob. Dude, they got a search blank. So, yeah, you got to get all over that.
That's a game changer right there. You're like,
you would think, but then we started typing.
You're like flat screen TVs, generators, all the bigger stuff.
When this happened, I'm pretty sure Gunsnob was driving. So I'm like, you shouldn't be telling me about this. I'm going to assume that Stacy was at home and found it and let him know, and he sent me a note.
That's
well,
a good
he
theory.
Was parked. He pulled over so he could send me that note.
So he could text you, yes.
Yeah, legally and all. Air fryer for the win. Dude, and that's what we did. So, 10 points for John for having the right answer here. That's what we did. We didn't miss a beat as a family. We just shifted from microwave to the air fryer.
Air fryer sucks for ramen. Throwing it out there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, I got a thing of the black ramen, the super hot
stuff.
Supposedly, I was so happy. It was at the liquidation place, and I get home and I mix it up, and it didn't have the really thick, almost black spice goop that you put in it.
I've still got some of those left, so I've saved them for you.
It had a powder, and the
powder's no good. No,
it wasn't. And I was so disappointed. My head did sweat just a little bit, but
not like that. Not
but
like
my mouth
the
was
sauce.
never burning or anything. It was a real letdown.
It was a disappointing.
It was a real letdown. 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 It Snob doesn't have any feeling. He does. They're all in his stomach. That could probably be true. Yeah. Okay. Search function isn't great. I was so excited. I thought it was going to be awesome. And then I'd search for things and it would bring stuff up, but like, yeah, I'm not finding anything interesting. So I thought it would be this panacea of you type in something and it's like, oh, look at that. The item I needed was there and I just hadn't found it yet. No, not really. I don't think I've ordered anything off of the search function yet. He was in a motel then. Okay. Hotel, motel, holiday inn.
Yeah.
Gun Snob is always driving. Not sure he actually does anything else. I beg to differ. He has a YouTube channel. You should go check it out. It's the Gun
He
Snob
shoots guns
on the YouTube, and you can see him actually using firearms.
Unless he goes and deletes them all now after William said,
which he
I shouldn't have that up there.
Yeah. I don't know what
avocado that's blasphemy.
Is.
That is blasphemy. Avocado. Come on, people. No.
Avocado oil spray. I'm going to have to look that up because I've never heard of that before.
No.
Avocados are supposed to be phenomenally good for you. You need to figure out how to work avocados into, like, substitute instead of cola, avocados and booze, and it'll be like a healthy cocktail. I'm telling you.
Eventually, I figure, eventually one day my palate will say, you know what? Bourbon and ice cubes is enough. And this is enjoyable. But until then, Pepsi.
Okay. Let's see.
One day it'll happen.
I don't listen to attorneys. Okay. Oh, let's see. Oh, I'm subbed him. I'm just with a group for Gun Snob. Right. Okay. Let's see. Avocado only belongs in guacamole. Okay.
Guacamole,
that's a fair statement, I suppose.
Or California.
Interesting. No one should. They don't know anything and eventually become politicians and know even less. That happens sometimes. But I think there are times when we have to realize that the political system and the laws that are being passed and that kind of thing are stacked against us. And they're trying to set up gun owners in a position where we have to either choose to be felons or just get down on our knees and surrender. And having someone looking out for our interest and helping us navigate the legal system, I think could be valuable in that situation.
I watch all his videos. They're so informative about, especially about the new stuff, the pistol braces and all that. And I agree. Yeah. You're like, oh, here, send a picture. And I'm like, no, if you send a picture of an assembled pistol and they say, no, it has to be an SBR. You already have it assembled. You're screwed. Yeah.
So the other question, I didn't ask him this, but I have a question about if you submit the picture and they approve it based on that picture, and then you change anything on the configuration.
You can't change anything.
Right? You want to put a different grip on it? You want to change the
I don't think you can change anything on it. Once you submit it with the picture, it's got to be that way.
Well,
but I mean, I like that. He broke down
anything about that.
Right, but I mean, he broke the one video. He broke down the wording, like, listen, any pistol with a pistol stabilizing brace attached falls under this ruling. Right. So I got 3 buffer tubes with just the padding coming.
Yeah,
there you go. No problem. Nope. Yep. No pistol braces attached. Deal with it.
Yep.
Done. I mean, because there's no way I'm going to fill out anything or send pictures of, definitely not send pictures of anything. Yeah, there's no way.
I feel like that is 100% a setup.
Yeah. I mean, like, you're not supposed to assemble anything and they're like, oh, here's a picture of my assembled SBR. Okay, thanks. We'll see you in a day or so. You get a knock on the door like 30 minutes later, like, oh, hey, what's going on? You have this
well, I think that you should, when you send that picture in, it should have a little note in the bottom corner that says, my dog's name is Rusty. just give him a treat and he'll leave you alone.
Yeah,
You
he'll
know,
leave you
as
alone.
an effort to,
Mike,
preserve
told
the
you.
life of your dog.
My cat's names are Steve and Fluffy. They'll shoot your cat too.
Will they? I don't give
I don't know.
a
That's the patch I'm making for SHOT Show.
shit.
I'm doing
They'll
it.
treat your cat too. That'd be awesome. You should do that.
I'm doing it.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about SHOT Show. Show of hands in the comments. Who's going to SHOT Show? Did you do your registration?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I did mine before you did yours. when Ghost put his up there, I was like, I'll do it. I did it that evening.
Yeah. I have to worry about
Well, there
pistol
you go.
break since I don't have an AR. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
I know.
Everyone
ARs
should
are
have
fantastic. I love ARs.
I mean, not everyone should have an AR, AAR, however you say it. Everyone should have ARs, like one for each day of the
Several.
week. Well, honestly, one for each member of the family.
That's
You
what
probably
I'm at.
need, and then a backup.
Like, and it's that's what the whole thing is ridiculous because Crystal loves shooting the ARs, but she can't shoot the full size, the 16-inch barrel ones. But the pistol, that Wolfpack Armory one, the CSR 5.56, she can fire the hell out of that one.
Yeah,
because it's her size, it's the Crystal size. So it's like, listen, you're nuking all these pistol braces, you're being douches about it. But what about there's definitely veterans and injured people who need this to fire the ARs. But I mean, women, small people, it's like, she can fire that. The other one, she was like, this thing's too heavy. I'm like, well, try this one. Bam, 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 bam. Like, okay. Well, I just had $200 of ammo downrange. Like, oh, have fun. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, you want to have
I can drink my beer now, so
you want to have a trophy wife. You got to be willing to spend money on
I
her.
know, dude. I know. She's all the sexiness right there.
All right. So
hopefully she's watching. She saw that.
What's that?
I said, hopefully she's watching. She saw that. I said all the sexiness.
So there's a new function on YouTube where you can take, and you could probably do this as well, but and I plan on doing this, and I'm hoping that I can go do this with some of the clips from today's show, and that is you can pull out a section of a YouTube video and make a shorter video or a short out of it.
Ooh, awesome.
So we'll have to pull one out for that comment.
Yeah, because I need to do that.
Yep.
There we go. Crystal, look, it's because it's her birthday Saturday.
Day after tomorrow, Saturday?
Yep.
In
case anybody's wondering, she'll be 49.
Wow.
I know.
How has she kept you around this long?
Dude, I'm a catch.
No, that's what I meant. That came out wrong.
No.
Yeah.
So how does she keep me in? Because she can work it. Talking about.
That's all right.
She can shake her money makers.
Thing, not a YouTube thing. No, I'm pretty sure that's a YouTube thing because I clipped something out of a video just a couple days ago and put it up there. Unless it was, I don't think it wouldn't have been an Instagram because it was an adult oriented video, a landscape video, not a vertical, not a little kid video.
The little kid video. That's so funny. That was a funny thing. Jeff's like, I don't want to take video this way. You're not supposed to take video this way. That's for children. And then what are we doing? All right, go ahead.
I know. And
this is for shorts.
It pisses me off so much because then I got to shoot 2 videos.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to replace the battery in that.
What the hell was that beeping?
The power supply, because every, probably 3 times a day, it'll just whistle. It has an alarm that goes off that says the battery's not working right. And apparently, I think that's what it is. I should probably make sure it's not a smoke detector or something. But
like the batteries have been dead for a year now, Jeff. You're fine.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. Crystal's like a day over 25. Dude, somebody needs some glasses.
Oh,
if you just seen her at 25 and OnlyFans was around, I wouldn't be doing this shit. I'd be fucking sitting back, filming. Like, there we go.
Yeah. I got to be honest.
Jeff's like,
I think you and I both were punching above our weight class, or whatever the appropriate saying is, that there's something to be said about somehow tricking a girl that's out of your league into.
That's what's funny, because so everybody knows, if everybody knew me when I was skinny, I was kind of dorky. Just saying. I was 6'3", 150 pounds. Going into college. 6'3", 175 coming out of college. Still skinny as a rail. Married Crystal. I packed on some weight. I have aged fantastic. So now the roles have reversed. She's got to worry about, like, when I go out. She's like, hey, that chick's looking at you. I'm like, I know. It's okay. I'm going home to you tonight, baby.
Oh, interesting. Time machine. I'm in. Yeah, I think you'd be fighting TJ for that time machine.
No,
and
dude.
we already know TJ is well armed. So, yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna start keeping some floor guns around. That's good. That's on my list. Next show, I'm gonna have some floor guns. Son of a bastard!
Okay,
I knew you were gonna. I was like, I guarantee Jeff's got some floor guns around.
Yeah, we're gonna do the disclaimer for anyone who in YouTube disclaimer, or whatever, that worries about firearms showing up in videos. This is unloaded. It's in a safe environment, and it is for demonstration purposes, with the trigger covered up so it can't even be fired.
And the mag not even in it.
Yeah, right. So this, let me see, which way did I turn it? This way. You can see this is a 1791 holster with a Ruger. What was it? SR 1911, whatever it's called. This is my custom pimped out 1911 with it's got the sights on it with I wonder if I can get that lined up right. It's a triangle on the back and an upside down notch in the front, and this one is the light lights it up, like ambient light makes it glow. So that's really cool. It's the Delta sight, if I remember right. That's Delta 1 sight, that which I really like. Took a little while to get used to, and I've got the what do they call this material? Is it G10 or something? Really cool. I
don't have any bougie stuff.
And the whole thing I had custom. I was going to say Cerakoted. I think this was Duracoated in a gray and olive and black tiger stripe camo. And
it's sexy.
I like it. It's kind of sexy. Yes. But I just got this from 1791. They sent this leather holster with the mag holder. It's an outside the waistband leather holster. And I got to tell you, if you can, let's see if I turn it upside down so the light hits it better. You can see the curvature to it. It's very stiff leather because the way they like wet mold it or something. It is exactly the right shape to fit up against
my belly.
Oh, check it out. I'm wearing pants again.
So thank God.
Right here.
It got to be so horrible.
The right shape. And the very first time I put the pistol in, it was a little hard to get in, and they give you directions to wiggle it around
a little bit.
And but after that first insertion, it loosened it right up, and it slides.
It usually happens that way.
And I haven't actually had a chance to wear it out. I wore it around the house the day it came in. I put the pistol in it, wore it, and was like, holy crap, this thing is comfortable. So there will be a review on that holster coming up here pretty soon.
Hold on. I had to get another beer.
Only marry up so the divorce is easier. Okay, I suppose that's true. Yeah, I probably haven't shot that 1911 in a few years since I had it coated. I didn't have a good holster for it. I didn't carry it too much.
I got that 1791 holster for the for my Taurus. It just has the little just the clip on it.
Yeah.
Inside the waistband.
Yeah. Well, I usually carry inside the waistband. Actually, I've been lazy lately, and I
Pocket.
carry.
I know. Yeah, you pocket carrying.
I pocket carry a SIG P365,
Lazy
and
bastard.
I shoot that little gun better than most full-size guns. So it's a great carry gun for me. And I'm just, I don't want to say I'm lazy, but I'm probably lazy. I have issues with my body shape. If I carry inside or outside the waistband, I get real bad printing off of the handle.
Yeah, I have to carry rectally. It's the only way I can carry. Nobody can see anything. I mean, that's
yep. Good to know. What holster do you use for that?
Listen, what's that?
So what holster do you use for that?
I use a 1791, but it has the little clip though, but I had to bend the clip up so it doesn't go all the way in, so I can still grab the handle. I mean, it's slight modification, works fine.
Oh my
Same
goodness.
thing though. The initial one, it was a little tight. After that, it loosened it up. It was fine. Everything worked.
Oh my goodness.
You brought me on. Say it.
Yeah.
Chris, what is Chris doing? Tabletop review of the Phoenix Trinity Honcho 2011.
So that's something I'd like to get. Well, you know, I was going to say I want to get a 2011, and I've got something that is somewhat similar-ish that I really need to get more shooting.
Any of those big guns.
So you see it's like a stack and a half. I don't think it's a full double stack. 10 millimeter. And this also, another disclaimer, an empty, safe firearm in a safe environment with no ammo anywhere. Actually, I don't even have ammo in the building, let alone in the studio. I'm not even sure I have any 10 mil left. I think I left what I had at the range, because next time I shoot it is going to be at Quarter Horse Arms at the range. I think I just was like, hey, Alan, I'm putting this in the safe. Don't shoot it. I bet that bastard.
He's probably like, okay, I don't have it. Does he have a 10 mil?
Yeah.
Oh.
He does sometimes. I don't know if he does right now. This is the P40L, by the way, from Grand Power. And if you want one, you can go to where would they go to get a Grand Power?
I do want one. Global Ordnance.
Global Ordnance. Go check out Global Ordnance. Or
I would like one, Jeff, just so you know.
Even better, go hit up any of our AREX or other reviews on Gear Report and find a link, or go to our social medias and find a link to Global Ordnance. Anyhow, this P40L is a beast. And when he mentioned a 2011, I was like, that's what this reminds me of, because it is so it's huge. And the slide, it's like massive. I tried to fit it in that holster, in the 1911 holster. It's like it ain't fitting. It's too big.
Warbling out, it'll fit.
Yeah. So there we go.
Me all fired up today, Jeff. See, I show up late.
Yep. Late, disruptive, but
I know that's what I'm here for.
Oh yeah, because the show would be boring otherwise.
I know. Well, with William, it was awesome because I mean, like I said, I watch all his stuff. Like every day, I'm like, oh, he's got a new video, or what's going on?
Yeah, I was tickled that he agreed to come on the show, because he is one of my favorites.
I mean, he breaks it down to where I can understand it, which is fantastic. Because
I've had some interest from the armed attorneys coming on at some point, so we'll have to see if we're going to have them on at some point.
I think so, dude. I mean, everybody, it's not going to hurt. Everybody needs to know this all stuff is coming out, and how to stay not being a felon and keep your firearms. I mean, they're going to keep doing these. What it's not rules, but it's reclassifications of everything. I mean, because everything was legal when we all bought them. When we all bought these, everything was legal.
Well, right. That's where
now they're reclassifying everything to where you're like, well, wait, whoa. We already bought this. It was legal then. We think it's not. It's bullcrap.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. The whole idea of calling it amnesty is a lie, basically.
Yeah. So
G23 only open carries. I
attaboy.
open carry when I'm hunting. Actually, I got a chest rig that if I'm hunting, I have a pistol, either 1911 or a Glock with like a Glock 17. So I got a lot of rounds in there. I've got something. Ooh, the 10 millimeter. That's what I'm going to carry. Oh, this is a different one.
I'm still waiting for a holster for the DBX57. When somebody makes a shoulder holster for the DBX57, that's what I'll carry.
Yeah, that'd be a solid choice. Or I like chest rigs. Or
Crystal likes chest rigs.
we we haven't done a segment on floor guns lately, so I want to bring some more floor guns out.
God, how many floor guns do you have now? Did you restock?
No, I've just
got all pistols now.
Only 3 floor guns tonight, and they're all pistols.
Next week, everybody,
they're all empty, and they're all empty. There's no ammo here. They're completely.
I'm going to have floor guns next week,
and it's in a safe environment, and there's no possibility of shooting anything because they don't even have ammo in them. And this is the Arex 02S.
And I like that one too.
I got to tell you, it's a metal frame with a polymer textured and contoured grip, and it is dead sexy. But I just absolutely love the way this one shoots. Actually, all 3 of these that I had out, all 3 of tonight's floor guns are guns that I absolutely love shooting. They are just a joy to shoot. Which basically
are they all from Global Ordnance or just 2?
The Arex is from Global Ordnance. The Grand Power is also from Global Ordnance, and I think I bought that. I think I bought the Ruger. I think that's one of the last firearms. That's one of the last firearms that I purchased before we started reviewing guns at Gear Report. Because Gear Report, the first several years, we did kayaks and camping gear and camping hammocks and that kind of thing.
I wasn't around for that, people. Firearms. Just so you know, I wasn't there for that. I came on with the firearms.
Yes.
That's why I don't camp.
And I'm pretty sure that I got that one. Yeah, because I remember we were at the NRA show 2016, and we were walking from one meeting to another, and I saw something scroll by on Instagram or something. I don't remember, one of the socials, and it was a picture, and it was a Tiger Stripe 1911. And I was like, that is so freaking sexy. And I scrolled past it, and I was like, wait a second. I scrolled back, and I looked closer. It's like, oh, that's my gun. That's my pistol. The guy who had coded it had posted it, and I'm standing there drooling over it going, man, that thing's awesome. And then I realized, it's awesome, and it's mine. I was so happy.
It's for sale now for $4,000.
I purchased that firearm before we started reviewing guns, and then we did a review on the coding service, and so he coded it for me, and the grips on it, all the things that were added to it were reviews. Man, I'm just sitting here holding this, and I just love the way it feels in my hand.
I feel you.
The grip. No, you don't. You can feel yourself.
I'm holding something too, and it feels fantastic.
Yeah. So, but if you hadn't tried one of these Arex Zero, the original Arex Zero was pretty cool, but this 2S, it's an aluminum frame with the hard polymer grip with a really neat texturing and contouring, and it just I have big hands, and it really just feels right. So there we go.
It's natural.
It does. It does. And who wouldn't? You know what? I don't even want to.
I'm emailing Kat. Be like, Kat, what's up?
Kat, I sent Kat a note. She had asked if I would review a Strybog, the A3 model, and I said,
TJ would.
I said, yeah, actually, I would. And She never sent it. Or she sent it and Alan just never told me. Now, you watch.
Alan's probably got it.
Alan has probably had it for like 3 months.
You know, I've got a Strybog.
Like, oh, I didn't know it was for you.
Yeah, I have a Strybog, and I was waiting for the brace attachments for the back.
She never sent you that either?
No.
I sent her a note right before the storm. Hey, in between boarding up windows and stuff before the hurricane gets to you.
Yeah, because they might have got hammered.
10 millimeter ammo for me so I can finish the Grand Power review. And what's the word on the Strybog that you asked if I could do a review on? And of course, she didn't reply. And looking back, that was probably poor form to ask right then.
What a douche. I mean, maybe.
Okay, Chris from the 740 did a 1.5 pound trigger pull test. That was the Phoenix Trinity honcho. I just wanted to tie that together. I'm assuming that was the honcho.
That's not in our budget.
I don't know, man. 1.5, unless it's a dedicated
That's too
target
sketchy.
pistol.
Yeah,
I would worry about a negligent discharge.
You could almost just do that, and it would go off.
Yeah,
I would think.
Just
the momentum. Yeah.
Just for the record, we've already established this. TJ prison carries, apparently.
Listen, it's just it's a little Taurus GT Millennium. It's fine. It's little.
John says we don't judge. I would like to amend that. I mean, if your comment, John,
Jeff judges.
You write what you want. I would amend it to say, in your words, I don't judge because I judge. Jeff judges.
Jeff judges.
John doesn't judge, apparently.
Jeff judges.
Oh, Jeff's judging right now. Jeff's always judging. One of my kids tries to give me a hard time about, don't judge me, or you're judging. You're judging that person. I'm like,
damn right I am.
How long have you known me? I always judge everyone.
Mm-hmm. That's how we stay safe. That's how I don't get mugged. Well, plus we're both like 6'3", 6'4", and you're 200. I'm a little heavier now. Thanks to this. Thanks, Mango Cart beer.
Yep. Okay. It's not mine. I can't afford the $8,000 price tag. Yow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have any firearms that are $8,000.
I don't think I could start killing for that.
I don't know.
Not that I would. I'm just saying. I mean,
not for that. I mean, make it 10.
9.2.
If we're being honest, he would haggle. But
Yeah, I mean, can I get a little money extra for beer afterwards and a couple cigars? That'd be good.
Yeah. I'll use Ghost Tactical or Clover.
What the hell? Who said that? G?
That's where's Gary? Damn it.
Damn, Gary.
Swing the banhammer.
Gary, we can't be having that negative video here. OB's here. What's up, OB?
I'm grateful his family speaking slowly so I can understand what's going on. Okay.
That's because I've been drinking. That's why I'm talking slower.
Yeah.
I didn't drink for a long time. When William was on, I'd try not to drink. I was like, phew. Taking it easy.
Yeah.
As soon as he left, I was like, thank God I can have a couple.
Let's see. Obnoxious, underachieving with 2 of the required requisite 3 years in a row.
I'm surprised you didn't have him nuked. I didn't, Gary. 2 yos.
What do you do? There are people who are just chronic underachievers. And I'm not saying that Obnoxious One is a chronic underachiever. I'm just saying the evidence is there. You assess, however.
Purposefully.
I had a feeling, hence the needling, but keep your tip away from me. That sounds like a pretty reasonable request. All right, I'm going to skip some of these because they're getting a little weird. Yep.
Yeah.
That one. Skipping that one. This one I'll post.
That sums the show up. That sums the latter part of the show up. The first part of the show was very informative. I liked it.
Okay,
Second part of the
one,
show,
yeah.
shit shooting.
Oh yeah,
Totally shit shooting.
the 1.5 pound trigger is a dedicated competition, high end
Oh yeah,
competition gun. So
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely makes sense.
yeah. I got a buddy who has one. He's like 1 point. He's like it's 1.432 something. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
whatever. I was like, it's too light for me because I would just be like, you just touch it. It's like pow, like.
So I haven't
Stupid.
shot many pistols with a trigger pull like that, but I remember the
it's
one
disturbing.
time that we were invited to the SIG range day, the exclusive SIG range day at SHOT. Not only were we invited, but when we showed up, we had an escort that walked us up to the line, displaced some people so we could shoot a couple videos.
I remember that. I remember that was a good day.
Yeah. Back before my buddy.
All right, now you can continue. I feel better about it.
Yeah, back before my buddy Bump was flagging everyone on the line, fortunately with an air pistol, and we never got invited back. So, but they handed me one of their competition pistols, and he's like, the trigger's light. Before I give you ammo, have you shot any competition pistols? I was like, nope. He said, okay. Pulled the magazine and handed it to me and said, just point it down range, and I want you to feel how light the trigger is. And before I even thought I started to pull, it bang. It was like click. I was like,
yeah. Once you get to that 1 pound,
that was
once you get to that 1 pound something, it's stupid. For competitions, perfect. Competition is awesome. Anything else? No, you're gonna kill somebody.
I just wanted to put my finger on it so I could know where to start to pull, and that made it go. So So I was like, okay, now I know what I'm dealing with. He was like, see? I was like, yep, you're right. Yep.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's for competitions, it's perfect. But other than that, it's way too. Everyone's like, "Oh, look at my AR! I got a 2 pound trigger on it." I'm like, "Why?" Because I'm like, no. I said, "You could now." That's one of those you could drop and it'll fire.
Yeah. Or you're.
What do you mean? Pow!
You're like if that isn't a competition gun, you're using it for defense, and the bump in the night, you're trying to get around. It's a little dark. You bump into something. Boom. Yeah. I don't want to light. I think like a 5 pound mil spec type trigger on a defensive gun is always a really safe bet. And then depending on your training level and what you're comfortable with, there's some aftermarket triggers.
That's why I keep my high point. That's why I keep my tactical high point with my light on it for defense.
To throw at people.
Because it's like a 12 pound trigger, whatever. And it weighs 12 pounds.
Obnoxious is the real gun snob. He could be, really. Under promise and under deliver. Yeah. I hear you. Obnoxious. Go, for anyone who hasn't, go watch some of his videos. I think you'll see that he's being
dude, I love the one at IV88. That was funny as shit. Did you see the one? Did you see the little short where he's like, "I'm tired of all these people out here shelling for companies," and he turns his head and he had the Live Free Army on thing, and walked out like a boss, like boom. I was like,
I did not see that one.
Dude, that was funny as shit.
Yeah.
Good job, OB. That was funny.
Yeah.
I giggled out loud.
Gary went to get more seats. Good. Let's see. Gun shop was that last week. You wouldn't believe the used guns people got rid of. Most of them were hardly even used. Yeah, and I think that we're about to see more of that as the economy starts to take a hit. People were bored and buying all kind of stuff while they were locked in their house. The used market on all kind of things. If you got some cash, I think you're going to have a real opportunity to stock up on some stuff.
I told you I got the Scar Light on layaway, didn't I?
Ooh, no.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Beachside Pawn had so the Scar Light, the 5.56 come in. Like not fired, but the guy like took it out of the box, so it was pretty much used. And I picked it up for a decent price.
Yeah.
But I have a Scar Light now, so
yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I think there are going to be a lot more opportunities to get that kind of stuff here.
Yeah, there's so much stuff coming in. They're like, look at this. I'm like, listen, let me get the Scar out, and then we'll talk after that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, people are selling all kinds of guns right now. I mean, it's getting tight, and it's they shouldn't. It's not going to get any better.
Yeah.
Keep your guns, keep your ammo.
Hardly watch people's videos that don't watch mine. I hardly watch people's videos just because I'm going too many different directions, and
I watch everybody's videos because I have IBS, so I'm in the bathroom a lot. So that's my quality bathroom time. I get boom, I'll get Clover, Ghost, Snob, William. I'll get it all out in a day. I can watch 5 or 6 videos.
Yeah. TJ's one person who saw it. I'm sure other people saw it.
I liked it too.
TJ's good for that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Dude, IBS, it'll do it.
Oh, DJ Play Nice was here.
What's up? Where he left?
Yeah. He was here, but he left. Yeah, or he's leaving. Who knows? People saying goodbye to him.
I'd leave too.
All right. Definitely getting worse. Depends on which side you're on, if you're buying or selling. I'm a big fan in an inflationary market of any spare cash. Buy assets that aren't too hard to liquidate, because the prices, when inflation goes up, the price of those is going to go up, and you can cash out. And why do you think I got all these guitars? I suck at guitar. I'm going
to throw it out there. I've seen a lot of guys throwing guns in the pawn shop lately.
Yeah. Wow.
Like they bought them like a couple, a year ago during the pandemic. And then they're like, I'm like, really? Tavor? This? Like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
So,
all right.
We'll see. It might be a good market for buyers coming up soon.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be for everything, I think, especially properties, especially a lot of people, I think, got in over their heads and they panic bought when everything was selling for more than it should.
Yeah.
And they're going to, as inflation happens and the economy cools off, there are going to be a lot of people who can't make those extra payments that they stretched to just because they were panicking. And they're going
guns are always worth the same of what you bought them for. So
they're going to end up selling low. So I think that, and people who panic bought over the last couple of years when guns were high are going to end up having to dump them and lose a bunch of money.
Yeah.
So I think there are going to be a lot of opportunities, and I'm working hard to make sure I've always got a little cash on hand. So when someone says, "Hey, I need to cash out on this. I need some cash."
They did have a one of those Swiss rifles come through pawn shop.
Tell me it wasn't a K31.
It was a K31.
Oh.
I don't know if you would like the price though.
Did it fit in your safe?
It fit my safe, and it started with a 1 though.
Yeah. $100?
No, it had 4 numbers before the point.
Oh my goodness!
Before
people have figured out that the K31s.
Dude, it was. Awesome. I want to say it was like 1,300 and something, but it was like it was sexy. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, do I send? I was like, no, I'm not gonna send Jeff this picture. I was like, because he'll be like
standard wood stock, that kind of thing. Like,
but it was
or anything.
No, it was like not a nick on it.
Yeah, I went.
Everything would look good, and I was like,
so Mike at M+M is out in Denver, Colorado. He's on the north side of Denver, where the M+M factory is. And in 2017, when we went out I took the scouts out to Philmont Scout Ranch. We flew into Denver, and before we drove down to New Mexico for that backpacking trip, we took them to the M+M Firearms factory for a tour. And the same facility also houses Gun Company, Colorado Gun Company, something. I may be not getting the name completely right, but they sold a lot of old CNR guns, classic collectible type guns. And man, he had some K31s in there that were like, you could tell they were custom. They had engravings and cool stocks. And if you're talking about the pawn shop had just a standard K31, then they have appreciated a lot, because I was buying them.
It was up there, because I was like,
just a few years ago, I was buying K31s in the Swiss round for $350, $400. And I've got
I want to say it was 1,300, but it looked, like I said, it looked pristine. Like,
Yeah.
man, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't
think
get look.
I've
I
got,
didn't look at the rifling or anything, but exterior,
and it's very unusual to find one
it
where the
looked
rifling
new.
is bad. The K-31s were generally cared for and shot with premium ammo, and it's just the way it is. Like, it's hard to find one that the rifling isn't still pristine. But I think I've got 2 in the Swiss round and 1 in that's rechambered in 308, and I think I've got
Okay.
2 barreled action.
As long as you still have like 15 or 20 of them, you're fine. You don't need this
No,
one.
but I'm telling you that I have, I believe, 3 working guns and 2 barreled actions,
Right.
because that was the same era when I got into Mosin Nagants. And I went on a tear buying those.
I
I
know.
got
We
up to
saw.
27,
We
and then I
we
was
all
like,
saw.
wait a second. I don't like these. Like, I love the history of them. I love tracking all the stamps and figuring out where they had been.
I wish I would have had. I
All
wish I
that.
would have had a Mosin and an M44 and just kept them, because I've had them all.
Yeah.
I've had them all, and I've modified them and shot them, and I mean I was pelting. I mean I was hitting targets at 600 yards like nothing, almost like quick scoping on a video game. But it was like,
And I never had a Mosin that would shoot like that. I still have one that it was one of the, we did a few
the
years ago.
M44 one, the
projects.
shorty one, but the M44 was Russian, and that thing was just sexy. It had the dark wood, whatever it was on it. I was like,
nice.
oh, this thing's nice. And somebody said, I'll give you X amount of dollars over what I paid for it. And I was like, okay. And now I'm like, dumbass.
The best one I have for accuracy was cut down, and it's got a big compensator on the end. It's got a long eye relief scope and a like a Monte Carlo type stock on it.
Yeah.
And it's camoed. I had someone Cerakote it for me, and it's camoed, and it's like a brush gun, a deer hunting brush gun. Yep. And that thing is lights out. That's the best Mosin I've had. Of the 27 that I had, 1 or 2 shot okay. The one that we did the modern sniper project build,
that thing was sexy. I like that, the Archangel one.
It had so much money put into it, with the barrel being crowned and threaded, and then the muzzle brake being timed just right, and it had the Archangel stock, and then the long, like the M24 style sniper rail that you could put a night vision device in front of your big optic. Man, that thing, and the custom bent bolt, and it had a custom Cerakote like ATC or not ATC, the desert the block camo.
Yeah,
it looked awesome.
That thing was awesome,
but at 100 yards it was shooting like a 6-inch group. It pissed me off. I think it was a barrel harmonics thing, and the Archangel stock had a little tensioner that you could turn a screw in the bottom, and it would put a different, and I really intended to go through with a couple different types of ammo, and I've got the dies to do some hand loads, and I had that project all, like, I'd written out a test protocol for everything I was going to do to methodically test it, see if I could get it dialed in. And someone saw a picture of it and offered me enough money that I was like, here you go.
Yep.
Enjoy.
Yep. Yeah, mine, like I said, I had one out of a crate. I bought a crate of them, and one of them was just like, it would just murder everything at 600 yards. And I was like, all right, awesome. And I kept that one. And then eventually somebody said, oh, I'll give you that. All right. And, same with the AKs and the SKSs, but I had that M44. The M44 was awesome. That little shorty. Yeah. And I held on that thing for a long time, and then finally I was just like, I started getting into the modern, the ARs and all that stuff, and I was like, get rid of this. I get rid of all my milsurp, and I'm like, I'm such a dumbass. I could not have to work right now.
So I'm with Snobby on this, that they're very overrated. I mean, there are a lot of people who are like, oh, they're garbage. And then other people will tell you, but the thing is, they will fire no matter what.
Yeah.
And I know that's complete bullshit, because the way the firing pin sits inside the bolt, it gets gummed up real easy, and you either get light strikes or just failure to fire.
Yeah, I've never had an issue.
Yeah.
But I've only shot like 15 or 16 of them, so
Rookie numbers.
Rookie, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Jeff's like, I've had 70 of these things I've fired.
Yeah. And again, I love the Mosins because of the way the stamps are on on all the different components, and then the different things. Like I had some that had like trench art on the stock.
Yeah, the trench art is awesome.
And it was really, really fun to buy and sell a whole bunch of them. But when I realized, like, I hate shooting them, because I didn't have any that were accurate, and I got into the K31s, and I was like, these things are
way better,
dead on out of the
way
box.
better. Yeah, I know.
And even like with just the iron sights, first shots at 350 yards, and I'm putting them like in the middle of a torso target. I'm like, oh, these K31s are
these
just
Mosins, just throwing them in the trash. Like, these things suck.
Yeah. They went up for sale.
Yep.
That was back before I was on the Quarter Horse Arms FFL. I was a CNR FFL. So, a collector FFL, and I let that expire when I got on the FFL for Quarter Horse Arms as a manufacturer and SOT. But it's like, I don't need to maintain that anymore. But at some point, when that comes to an end, when I'm no longer the director of product testing for Quarter Horse Arms, then I will renew my collector FFL and do some more cool stuff with that.
There you go.
This is a true story, by the way. The gun Staub, he may be a little testy and disagreeable at times, but
it's truth.
He does speak truth.
Speaking of that, we need to figure out SHOT Show too soon.
We started talking about SHOT Show, and then we got off track. So we got a show of hands. We asked for a show of hands. I don't know that you said you're going. I said I'm going. I didn't hear too much.
I already got my stuff. Snob's going.
I started a draft on
Ghost Clover. Wednesday. The gang's going.
On Wednesday, I was sitting on the pool deck at the school that my daughter was doing a tryout for, which was really neat. Watching a kid do a tryout for a college team. The coach kept talking to me, and I'm like trying to write in a work email, and he kept turning, and it wasn't like real talking. It was a super guy. I really like this coach, and he kept joking with me, which I really appreciate, because I kept hearing college coaches don't want to see the parents, let alone talk to them. So I was trying to steer clear, and like I got my computer out and I'm working, and like I don't want to be in your space. I don't want to interrupt your practice. I want to respect your time and boundaries and everything. And he kept joking with me, and I was like, all right, he is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. But yeah, cheap like me. The bird is going. That's good to hear.
Yep.
I got to remember, Gary, you got to let me know what size shirt you wear so we can see if we have any left. We're getting low on Gear Report shirts.
I'm working on that.
What's that?
I'm working on it.
Are you out of the current shirts?
I've got a couple like XLs, so
I'm fairly certain we don't have.
I'm working on getting a new batch, and I'm getting some. I'm trying to get some Gear Report firearms and Gear Report reviews done.
No way.
You know me. That's what I do, Jeff. I just do shit without your permission all the time.
This what happens when you empower people. See, listen.
I know.
You want to run a business, you need to bring in good people and then empower them to do what they think is right. And then, hopefully they tell you about it at some point. So this is nice.
I told you about, I brought you in on the logo change. That was a big deal.
You did. And it's worked out really well.
The logo's sick.
Oh,
look at that.
All right. I need to rearrange.
Isn't that sick? That's awesome.
I need to rearrange the screen for just a moment and see.
Oh, geez.
So
we're looking at
I'm not getting rid of you, but I want to see if we can see something on the camera Yeah, right up over my other side, over this shoulder. This I just did that with the logo that TJ had designed, the Gear Report logo that we started using in 2019, I think. That is a glass brick that I painted black and then ran the laser engraver on it to etch the Gear Report logo onto it. And I've got a little light sitting behind it. And I thought that was pretty cool. But it didn't show on my screen.
That is cool. I know you need to move it.
Could I?
Because
I can just move the desk is on wheels.
There you go, because that looks sick.
Oh, and you can see my on-air sign too.
Screw the on-air sign. That thing's better. There you go. I like that. There you go.
The wheels must have got caught on something. There we go. Now that's in the
there
screen.
You go. That looks good. See?
Yep. Oh, steak burgers, man. So, I don't even have a company credit card.
Gary, come on.
Oh,
yeah. That's funny. Jeff gets angry if I spend money.
I do, even his own money. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yep. We'll have to figure something out when you do that though. But whatever. Mm-hmm. If I ask questions, I feel like I'm responsible for something.
Right.
So
I just do shit without Jeff's permission, and he's like, all right,
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Like
we got new shirts, great. We got visors, great.
Yep. I'm waiting on my. No, I don't want to say that. I want to give you ideas because then you may do it, and then it'll be like,
dude, I got Hawaiian shirts coming.
I don't want to have to model like a Hawaiian shirt pattern thong or something. That would be kind of awkward.
Okay, I'll work on that.
No, seriously, no one wants to see it. So
somebody out there will want to see it.
Well, the internet's a big place.
Or somebody will not want to see it and pay you money not to see it. Look at.
I'm questioning Gary's judgment. That comment was probably oriented to Hawaiian shirts.
I don't know. It could have been about the thong. Gary, you better specify
quick. Oh no, dude. Why did I type
Gary,
that?
You better specify that quick.
Yeah.
Because if it's a thong, I'm gonna call up and be like, hey, we need a large. Oh, sorry. Extra large.
Well, I don't know if it's stretchy. If it's like a shirt, if you get a size too small, it makes you look big and buff, right? So,
well, I want to look. I mean, I would like that to look big and buff. So,
yeah,
I want to squeeze in there. Okay, there you go. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, Gary specify. There we go.
All right. Okay, so what else do we have to talk about? I'm trying to look around, see if I have.
Any more floor guns lying around?
We talked about the floor guns.
Mm-hmm.
We showed
next week, G, I'll have floor guns. I'm gonna make sure I have floor guns next week.
I seriously, I know you don't care, but I don't care that you don't care.
I find it interesting, Jeff.
Yep. And with that, we took him off the screen. So we'll bring TJ back in a minute. But while he's gone, I wanted to get a better close-up on, look at this. That is just, I hate the shape of this, actually. I think it looks like a kindergartner designed it. But the color and everything, it's swamp ash, stainless steel frets. It sounds good. It's headless. It's not balanced real well. But it's just cool. And I love that I found it for like 60% of retail, and it was brand new. And I was pissed off that I had to go to the store to get a microwave 1 year after getting the last microwave. So to be able to find a cool headless guitar for like 60% of the real price, I was happy about that.
You're lucky I have no power. I was trying to type all kinds of stuff in the chat and I couldn't. Son of a bitch. Yeah. I was like, oh, I can't type anything. All right, never mind.
Yeah. Well, if you figure out how to log in as the team instead of as an individual, then you have rights.
If I wasn't so late this time, I would have. But I was like, I said I want to get on there for William, so because I'm a big fan of the way he breaks it down and makes it.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand that. Wow. Awesome. Now I'm not breaking the law and I'm not a felon when they actually come through this.
Yeah. But they're going to keep rewriting laws until they make us all felons anyway.
Well, like he said, it was that he said he had a video on. It was something where it was just because they don't make the laws; they're just reinterpreting everything that they have. So they're reinterpreting it,
right,
relabeling it, and it's like they're not changing it. They're not making any laws. They're just like, oh well, now this needs to be this, and it's like, no, it's ridiculous. It was legal when we all bought it. Everybody bought it. It was legal, and now you're saying, oh, we're going to change the terminology and make it legal, or make it illegal.
Headless like most ex-girlfriends. Man, I don't know if that's a commentary on the girlfriends or on the person that they're disappointed.
There's no way I would even have a girlfriend who was headless. I need some head.
Who doesn't?
I know.
Yeah. So let's see. Is there anything else?
Now I've got that.
There is.
Oh Jesus! Oh,
I knew there was another one. No, this was neat because this was that was terribly put together, and it's been sitting over here for like over a year. And I did a bunch of work on it Monday and installed new pickups and new switches and knobs and rewired the whole thing. And now it plays well. It sounds well. It's awesome. It's like a no-name kit guitar, but it plays just like I had a Gibson Flying V, which are, really expensive and hard to find. And it plays about the same as that Gibson Flying V did. So I'm pretty happy about that one. And it's not headless. It's for the people who are offended by anything headless.
Hey, buddy.
We just paused the show waiting for you to get
back. Did you? That's awesome.
Why not? I mean, as far as you know, you weren't here.
We got something new from Meprolite.
Yeah. So it's like they took the RDS Pro and shortened it a little bit, huh?
Yes, and it has it self-adjusts for the brightness.
I like
if you go into dark or lightness. So it's got a bunch of other little features too. I just delved into it today. He gave me the thumbs up, like, hey, you're good to go. I'm like, all right, thank God.
Yeah, because you were like embargoed for a while, right? Like,
well, I was just like, I want to make sure I don't get anybody in trouble and I get on the bad list.
Yep.
Like,
that's awesome. What are you going to put that on?
I don't know. I've got that 762 by 39 build from Moriarty.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't have anything on really, so I might throw it on that. And then probably the CSR 506 from Wolfpack as well.
A big durable red dot would be good on a 762.
Yep.
I'd probably want something with a little magnification on the 556, but
they're working on it. It's on the list.
Yeah.
See, here's the stand. I told you about the stand. You're gonna love this. Like, see, it has a little rail on it.
Nope. No, you gotta. Oh, okay. Now I see it.
You see that?
Yeah.
So it came on that, and I was like, hell yeah! So now I've got
that is kind of neat.
I've got a little Meprolite stand for all my Meprolite stuff.
Yeah, cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah, I turned it on today. I put the battery in. I was like, hell yeah, this thing's awesome. And he's like, you can talk about it. I was like, fantastic. I will.
Good.
So you're talking about guitars. I'll talk about optics. Some people care about optics more than the guitars. Looking out for you guys.
I see why my desk was fighting back with me. My internet cable had gotten pulled tight. Lucky that it didn't get pulled out. No emails that you're promised. Dude, it's taken a little while. Okay. Sometimes the U.S. email postal service is a little late. Just
listen, when you get them G23, you'll be so pissed. about any of those emails or any of those text messages you get about those things. I read them and I'm like, really? No, you pay me 5-star. Like,
Did you see the ones this morning?
I
Like,
was
dude.
I was on the job site and it was like bing bing. The owner was like, "You got something going on?" I'm like, "No, I'm good. It's okay. I'm just like muting it." And I'm like, I go up. I'm like, "What the fuck's going on?" Good times, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, G.
It's always a good time when I have to tell
you don't
people-
want any of that smoke there, the G. It's disturbing.
Yeah, when I have to tell people, like, dude, you didn't listen to what I told you before. Stop sending me notes.
Like, no, I'm not going to buy the product. I'm not going to have you send me the money and give you a 5-star review. That's not the way this works. We don't do
Right.
that crap.
Yeah.
Oh no, you give me 5-star. Like, if the product's worth 5 stars, we'll give you 5 stars. But until then,
Yeah, they don't want to
it's
hear
not going to
that.
happen. I know. Listen, I giggle every time, but yeah, the client was like, "You okay? You need to do something." I'm like, "No, I'm good." I'll just mute the phone because it was like ding, 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 ding. I was like, "What the frick is going on?"
Yep. Yep. All
I
right,
was like,
folks,
Jeff
we
must
just
have
hit
been
the
like
2-hour
active.
mark. We just hit
Holy
the 2-hour
shit, 2
mark.
hours?
I'm not necessarily going to shut it down, but I do want to say last call for any topics that people would like to suggest or comments or anything. Let's go ahead and do those, because it
Gun
is,
stuff,
I was
preferably.
going to say it's past my bedtime, but I keep picking up guitars and I'm like, oh,
I know.
maybe when the show's over, I'll play for a little
We
bit.
all know.
Dang, I think I was committed to go. I don't know. Do I play the guitars or go service the wife? Because I'm pretty sure I was committed to that for this evening.
What are you more
I'm
looking
not-
forward to?
It's okay, baby. I'll give you some attention tomorrow.
Yep.
So I think what I'm going to do to this one, by the way, you can see the cheesy kind of metallic purple paint. Now that
Yep.
I've got it working correctly, I'm going to strip everything off, strip it down to the bare wood.
Is it good? Is it a Gear Report one?
It's going to be painted desert tan.
Ooh, I like it.
Have Guitar Gear Report and several different logos on it at some point. And I'm pretty certain that I'm fairly committed to painting my Prius desert tan and stenciling, instead of like the little Prius badge and the Toyota badge, I'm going to stencil it so it looks just like the way they do things on the Humvee. And then if I park it, the Humvee and then the Prius right behind it in the driveway, so they'll be matching.
I'm getting the 250 fix. So when that gets done, that's going to be tan with the Gear Report logo across the bottom.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I had offered come up here and you can paint it here. My air compressor died and I haven't got, I think I need a new electric motor or the compressor. So I don't know if it's the electric motor or the compressor. I know when I flip the switch to turn it on, it trips the breaker. So I'm like, something shorted.
Never good.
It's either the compressor is locked up and the motor is like trying too hard and it trips a breaker, or the motor has shorted out. I don't know what.
Well, I have an order of eventually, in the order of things, I need to get the truck working and running. Then after that, we'll do body work and paint it. So I got to get the
I got to get a new
replaced.
air compressor at some point. I'm hoping to find one on Vine, and once I get that figured out,
If you say it enough, eventually it'll come up somewhere, either on your Facebook feed, Instagram, or Vine.
Yeah. Well, and that's these brands reaching out with, hey, can you review something? I have products you review. Like, I've just started some of them. I just send them a list. Like, I don't care what they ask me to review. they'll send a picture of stupid little crap. And I'm like, why would I want that? And I'll just send them a list. Here are the things I'm interested in right now.
And you
And
either
they
hear
haven't
from
even-
them or never hear from them again.
Yeah. No, we don't have that. We have these. Like, well, go away then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. John loves the guitar collection. Yeah.
At least two
we
of you do.
attract people with taste and
There's
culture.
2 people that like that
Sure.
guitar collection.
Yeah.
I admire it. I think it's cool, but it would be much cooler if you had a bunch of guns in the background.
Did I read the last comment? Maybe. Let's see.
He did.
Steak burgers. Yeah, we had pizza this evening. All right, I'm scrolling back to see what I meant.
He said we use the optics to look at the guitars better. And look was look.
I'm almost there. Hold on. What did I miss? I'm scrolling back through stuff.
One more. There you go.
Use the objects. Okay.
Because you know he wants us to blow up. He wants us to blow up a guitar.
I know. I'm sure that relates back to the other one about the next target on the screen, but that's okay. I did have that one guitar that I committed to shoot on camera at the IV 8888 event last year.
Never made it. Yep.
And then I just didn't take it. Like I forgot. I intended to, but I think I was running
We
out
did
of
get to
space.
shoot the drone though, didn't we?
We did shoot the drone, yeah. So
that was fun.
And I've thought about getting another one before the next event. Maybe I'll get a couple of them. We'll come up with some competitions or something. Shoot the drone.
I get like a Origin 12 and just destroy it.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fair. Last time we did it was with.
Who said anything about fair? It was 22s. Yeah, it sucked.
Yep.
It took you guys forever.
Not my
Jesus.
baby.
Blasphemy against the Prius. Listen, in this day and age, I mean, gas is only a temporary low. It's going to go out after the elections. Gas is going right back up.
Maybe, and if it does, then
it is. It's a temporary. They dropped it. They dropped it right before the elections to say, "Hey, look, gas prices are going down.
Yeah,
yay!" And then as soon as the election gets done, they're like, "Yeah, it's $4.50 a gallon again."
For you guys.
Yeah. Sorry, America.
Well, like yesterday. Was it yesterday?
I don't know. Tell me.
Today's Thursday. It was Tuesday.
Oh,
yeah, it was Tuesday that I was in the car for 5 hours, taking the kid to that college tryout, and we averaged. I think for that trip we averaged 50 miles per gallon exactly.
There's no reason to gloat.
And but it's a huge difference because, and that was at about $3.25 a gallon. Versus if I drive the truck, diesel is still over $5 here, and I'm getting like 9 or 10 miles a gallon. So it's literally more than 5 times the cost to drive the Humvee. So I drive it around town for some stuff, mainly drive it to scout meetings because the kids think it's cool. And that's it.
It is cool. I mean, it is cool.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. You got to do it.
I mean, we all are pretty much, but it's just
I just have to
more
pick
money.
and choose because I got I got one kid in college and 2 that are going to be in over the next couple months. So I got to be a little careful. Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but luckily booze prices haven't gone up, so I'm fine. In case anybody's wondering.
Yeah.
Like, my birthday's coming up in a week, next week. Ooh.
What?
19th, my birthday. So,
in
case anybody's wondering, next week will be my birthday podcast. I take payments in Woodford.
Yeah, well, next week is
Buffalo
the 13th.
Trace.
Next, and then the 20th.
So the next week, we'll do my birthday podcast.
Do that one? Okay.
Yeah, let's do that one. My birthday podcast. I'll wear a birthday hat. It'll be fine.
All right, you gotta share your share your birthday gift list so people can have gifts delivered to your house.
I will, but I mean,
Next
part
week.
of it's from OnlyFans. I mean, Crystal can take care of most of it. But
Yeah.
I'm old. I listen. A couple things. I'm good.
Distillery. I think I actually saw a distillery product of some sort on Vine at one point, and I didn't get it. I felt kind of bad
Hold
about
on.
that.
See, I have a little barrel back there.
You do.
I do. Right next to the kegerator.
Oh man! And see, that was a missed opportunity because my birthday was a couple weeks ago.
Oh, you messed up, G.
And he showed up anyway.
I appreciate it, man. That's awesome. I should be in rare form. I will wear a birthday hat and a sash for my 50th. I wore the sash for my 50th. I still have it.
Yeah, that's good.
I know.
Yeah.
You
can tell someone cared about you because they gave you a 50th birthday sash.
Crystal, that's all I got out of it.
Really?
You're turning 50. You're turning half a century old. Here, you get a $3 sash and a tiara from friggin' Dollar Tree. Awesome, thanks.
Did she tell you that's where she got them?
I know where she got them from.
Do you?
Yes. They were of that quality. When I jumped off the roof into the pool, the sash did not make it. But I salvaged it. It's fine.
That's terrible.
I know. That's fine.
I'm actually
50.
on the other screen. Here, I'm going to share the other screen.
I want to say I think I'm 50. I even forgot. Oh, I'm 52 this year. Just in case anybody's wondering, 52. I know.
I am shopping for your birthday present right now on Amazon Vine. Awesome. Ooh, how about this?
Fantastic.
A Glock 17. It's actually probably like a Glock 18, if I'm not mistaken. A gel blaster Glock.
I listen. I'm a gel blaster myself right now at 52. I'm just saying. I mean,
water bead toys. That sounds pretty innocuous.
I've got some. I mean, yeah, whatever. What do you? Listen, I'm easy to get along.
Comes up in Amazon Vine under gel blaster. I should probably have done this off screen and then.
I was going to say, why would you do that on screen? Because I can imagine what would come up. Gel blaster.
They got all kind of stuff here. Look at this. There's one. Here's another one.
There we go.
They're all over the place.
I'll gel blast the hell out of Crystal with that thing. Crystal's gonna be like, what's in the box? I'm like, nothing. That's my birthday present because her birthday was Saturday, so we're both October babies. So hers is Saturday. Yeah. Don't you dare get her one of those. It'd be a battle fucking royale around here. Killing would be like, what the hell? Be like, sorry, your birthday isn't until April, buddy. You have to wait.
That could be worth.
He's walking around like this is sticky. It feels like after hours at a bar here. It's disgusting. I'm like, sorry, bud.
Yep.
A lot of things going on right now.
All right, I'm not going to do it on screen, but I'm gonna order.
I appreciate it.
Tomorrow,
I will let everybody know on the 20th what shows up at my house and how it played out.
Yeah, and if anyone needs to,
I know I need a deep tissue massager. And I will order her from Japan shortly. She'll be on her way.
Oh, that's why you're saying it, because he needs a deep tissue massager. I can see if I can find one on Vine as well.
Listen,
I don't know. I'm telling you, I may be cheap.
As long as I don't have to
giving away Vine stuff.
Feed her too much, it's fine. Yeah, it's Vine stuff. You're like, whatever. All right. Yeah. All right, listen, I appreciate it.
Gel blaster, and he gets a gel blaster, and she gets a gel blaster.
She's going to get a gel blaster. That's what I know. I'm telling you that right now.
Like Oprah.
Crystal, here's a GoPro. What's that for? That's for the 20th when TJ gets his present. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They
We're
don't
both
have
October
any.
babies. That's crazy. Yeah, so we got to
They don't
go.
have
Hers
any
is.
massagers.
Listen,
I have actually seen here in
we have this place called
Amazon
Fairvilla
Prime.
right down the street that has massagers.
Really?
Yeah, they're like 6 inches across, 15 inches long, cylindrical. They take like a car battery to hook up to. So I don't know if we need any of that stuff going on. But
yeah, I'm
look at that.
trying to moderate my comments on my own here.
I know. I'm looking at this stuff on the screen. I'm like, Jesus, what's going on up there?
Yeah, there's all kind of stuff on here. But no joke, in this Amazon reviewer program, I have seen over and over like vibrators basically. And I'm like, wow, they're actually
Dude,
like,
you should so send one Crystal for her birthday.
Well,
if
so
you find,
the problem is,
if you find one on there, send it to her and put
the
Sexy
problem
Steve
is
on it.
if I
And then then she has to do the review on it, and I'll be like, listen, you have to do the review. He sent it to you. Write the review.
If I order
and send pictures,
even if I just click on it, then my whole family uses this account, and they'll be like,
Jesus, yeah,
"What in the world?"
Like, no, it's okay. I sent it to TJ. They'll be like, "Oh, okay, I can understand. That's fine."
Yeah.
Jim, they don't all.
Well,
they're
they'd
like,
probably be like, well, they would immediately look. They'd see it in the history, and they'd immediately look up who ordered it, what's the shipping address, and they'd see Sexy Steve, and be like, "What in the world? Why did you send TJ's cat a vibrator?" Yeah.
I mean, that would be some good video right there. Steve, come here, buddy. I got a present for you.
Oh God, I don't want anything to do with that video. And with that, I have to
do the video and do a review on it if you send it to me. Those are the rules.
And with that, I think we have reached the conclusion of tonight's show.
Pretty much, you say we've hit rock bottom. We're here.
I'm afraid that we are about to really hit rock bottom.
I think we are.
So it's probably a prudent idea to just say we're going to call it.
I agree. I agree, because G's telling you where everything is. Oh, Jesus, there's guitars. Fuck.
Oh, hold on. Second row, third item. Second row, third item. Must have been on the prior page.
Probably.
Because
listen, John, I can. I can pretty much carry a 44 mag prison carry if I needed to.
Oh my God. I don't think I'd really.
I have a Desert Eagle and 44 mag.
The Deagle. And you got that big Taurus that,
the 454
why am I contributing to this conversation?
I don't know why you are, dude. You just jumped right in. You're like, yeah, and you've got that big Taurus. I'm like, oh, I do have a big Taurus, buddy. It's got an 8.25-inch barrel.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I got nothing to do with that conversation. Let me turn that screen off. With that, I think we're going to go ahead and shut it down. So thank you, everyone, for participating. Thanks for the folks who were here when William Kirk from Washington Gun Law was here, enlightening us, helping to educate us. So how did he put it? So, we learn how to stay out of the morgue. He's helping us stay out of jail as well with some education. We really appreciate that. I would like to stay out of jail.
I can take a lot in my prison wallet, apparently, but I don't know what's in jail.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, definitely. Time to shut things down. Thanks so much for being here. Check us out next week. Go check out Gear Report. We got some things we're going to publish here in the next few days and over the weekend. And,
I think I
Yeah.
did that.
I think that's an accurate statement. I was going to be like, yeah, whatever. Dude, that's what I'm talking about, snob. I'm trying to shut it down, but people keep commenting.
Still here, buddy.
I'm like, if people are going to comment, I owe it to the audience to recognize their comments when
Yep.
they make them.
Make Jeff stay on until like 3 a.m.
But I don't want it. It's already past my bedtime. So, no, but seriously, it's been a great chat. I really do appreciate everyone contributing. We start at 9 p.m. I know a lot of people came in late tonight. We start at 9 p.m. Eastern time every Thursday.
I came in late tonight.
Watch on the Gear Report Firearms channel, please, next time, if you didn't this time, because we're trying to build watch time and hours and views and all of that over there. Yeah, we appreciate everyone. We're glad that you're here. And until next time, we'll see you at the range. Oh, where's my...
Hold up.
There it is.